Domino's post-game report. Adam Cavalier alongside head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, start with Charles Clark. Took over in overtime.
Well, the last time that we had won here, that Charles had won here, was his freshman season. And so it had been sort of a dry stretch, and that's a testament to Wingate because the coaching staff and the program here is so tradition rich and so strong that we took our lumps the last 5 times, particularly the last 2 seasons. But I reminded Charles, and Charles is the kind of guy when you tell him, you sort of challenge him with something, he doesn't make a whole lot of production about it at the time, but it becomes like fuel for him. And I don't usually say like a guy refused to let the team lose. Charles Clark refused to let us lose today. And I'm telling you now, I'm not really seeing that happen a whole lot myself, and I've done this a long time. But his performance in that overtime was one of the singularly greatest performances I've been a part of. We don't win the game without him, period.
You look at that overtime period, what was it that set things off, lit the powder keg for that momentous explosion?
I think we've got some experienced players, and we've won some tough, close games this year. They've got some inexperienced players, and I think as they become more experienced, they will obviously do a great job of finishing that out. But I just thought our experience showed there in overtime, and like I said, when you have a Charles Clark does what he does, and so many other guys. I mean, Grant Tashman hits a big shot there late in the game. Malik Abraham nails a couple big shots. Sean Jones has a quiet double-double. And if he ain't the sack player of the week this week, just take me out back and shoot me. So, that guy this week has been at a different level, man. And, this is just a tough place to win. And testament goes to our team and in particular our veterans.
Talk a lot about what Charles did in the overtime period, but your defense, spectacular as well. Wingate 1 for 8 from the field in overtime. Limit them to 3 points. What about the job of your defense in extra time?
Well, we knew that they were going to challenge us. They're an elite defensive squad. Coach Good, I mean, that's an identifier that he's created here in their culture. And we've been preaching the last couple of days to our guys, like, listen, man, nothing's going to be easy for us. Let's try to flip the script and make things uneasy for them. And I felt like there were moments in the game when we did that, But I thought in overtime, our guys took it to another level. They took it to another level, and really between the offensive firepower and punch of Charles and our collective defensive effort, the result was what it was.
Just because it goos doesn't mean it's a gusher. Let's focus on Charles Clark a little more. Moves past Laquan Choice for 3rd all-time in scoring in the South Atlantic Conference. What's that mean? Again, we've talked about what Charles has done so many times, but it feels like you gush about him. And here's another opportunity with moving past Choice on the Sacks all-time scoring list.
I think personally Laquan Choice is one of the greatest, maybe the best two-way player that's ever played in the South Atlantic Conference. That guy was an incredible on-ball defender, an incredible scorer, one of the all-time great shooters. And there's no doubt about it that a lot of the successes that they've had, especially the last couple of years, Elite Eights, National Championship games, Final Four, Laquan Choice is the cornerstone for all that. So for Charles now to bypass him in terms of the scoring says a lot about Charles. Now, let me keep one thing in mind. Charles don't defend like Laquan Choice. So Charles is pushing to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, offensive player in this league. But he's got to learn to be an elite defender to catch Choice in that regard.
Excuse me. You look at this game, set you on a 6-game winning streak now, and you finish out the first half of sack play with a clash of the Titans on Wednesday when Lincoln Memorial comes to town. They're locked in a dogfight with Queens right now. What do you have to do to get better from this one with your first back-to-back-to-back win streak in hand on the road in league play?
Well, we're gonna enjoy this ride back. We're gonna celebrate this one. Our guys were really excited about this win. Really excited. That's the most passionate sort of post-game celebration I've seen, and for good reason. Because again, Wingate is just such a great program, and this was such a great win for us that we're gonna enjoy this one going home tonight. Tomorrow will be a day to sort of catch our breath a little bit. We'll come in Monday and Tuesday and start really focusing in on our scout and our prep for our game at Lincoln Memorial. There's no doubt that they are one of the best teams in the country. Josh Schertz, I mean, what can you say? the guys completely turned that program around into what it is. And we know that we're going to have it's going to be as tough a challenge as it can possibly be for us. But we'll have them at home, and it'll be a regionally televised game. We're excited about that, and you're going to have 2 top 20 teams going head-to-head. So hopefully we're ready for that kind of opportunity.
Chuck, pleasure as always. Congrats on the comeback overtime win.
Great. Thanks, Kev.